Beeville ISD offers so many opportunities in our schools. We have, of course, your traditional schooling, but our CTE program, I have to say, is one of the best options that parents can look into.
Produced by Podcast Architects.
Welcome back to another episode of The Path Forward. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Rick Fernandez, and we're here at TexED Con in Dallas, Texas, home of the Dallas Cowboys. I've got a very special superintendent that's a huge Dallas Cowboys fan.
Very big.
Very big.
I have to say he's very big, yes.
So I want to introduce my guest. I've got Mr. Travis Fanning, Superintendent of Beeville ISD, and I've got Art Gamez, Beeville ISD Board Trustee. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Gamez, the Cowboys, we got to talk a little shop. Just as he's sitting here, we've got to have as much Cowboys talk as we possibly can. We've got to turn him.
Of course. I told him when you came to Texas, there's one thing that's the ground rules. Dallas Cowboys and Texas barbecue go hand in hand.
I placed both of those in second place behind Georgia barbecue.
Oh, no.
And the Atlanta Falcons, of course.
That's awful. No. So, all right, let's get into it. So you guys had the early slot for a presentation. Normally, that's either that or the after lunch slot are the two that are toughest. But
Absolutely.
You had a great turnout. So tell me, Mr. Fanning, what were y'all talking about for presentation, and what impact do you feel like it had?
So our session this morning, like you said, we had the 7:30 session. It was about launching the conversation and talking about creative ways to engage the community.
Okay.
Oftentimes as trustees and superintendents, normally when the community engage with us, it is not in a positive light. There's a concern or a complaint or something they don't like and things of that nature. And so we wanted to create some true opportunities and segments to where we inviting our community to be a part of either an event or just a chance for them to come and sit with us, instead of having to address their concerns on social media. We want them to come and have a face-to-face conversation with myself, my team, as well as our board of trustees. And so we have chat and choose as a creative way. I'll tell you, one of the biggest things that we really talked about that we love and it's close and dear to my heart is our Golden Trojan event. That's where anyone in our community over the age of 60, they come out to this event that we have for them, and we give them their golden pass, which gets them into all the games and performances. But we also gave them mugs and a Golden Trojan t-shirt. And we just wanted to tell them what's happening in the school district, because oftentimes, unless they have grandkids, they're not engaged in the community anymore, but they're still taxpayers, even though it's locked at a fixed rate at that point. But they're still taxpayers, and they're our best supporters a lot of time and our number one voters. And so it's extremely important for us to continue to keep them engaged, talk about what's happening so that they'll know that things are really going well in their community and that we're building some students who are going to take great care of them.
That's awesome. I mean, and Mr. Gamez, I want your perspective, because obviously born and bred, you're Beeville to your core. What does it mean?
Beeville Trojan. For me, it's once I became a board trustee, I wanted to find opportunities to help the school build relationships. Something we hear often is a lot of the community and parents, it's very difficult to come to a school function or event or let alone a meeting after hours. We all have your daily work, and then we get home, we got children and do things. So Mr. Fanning was tasked to think of creative ways to reach out. And as he pointed out, there's some things misconception that people can get the wrong ideas, the wrong information, and we want to provide opportunities for them to ask questions. Like I said, transparency and trust. That is what we're wanting to our community to know, that we're here for them. I want to hear what you have, your concerns, so we can address those.
So, new school year, things are starting. I think we feel like we're back from COVID and feeling like we're in our normal flow. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff going on at the state level with the legislature. But on a positive note, what are you excited about, Mr. Fanning, to kick this year off? Kids are in gear. What's getting you going?
I'll tell you, the thing that I'm most excited about is, although the trends have been showing that we probably would have a decline in enrollment, we actually had a slight increase this year.
Nice.
And so that's extremely important for us, because we tell them, we thrive off of having as many kids as we possibly can in our school district. I feel like we have a great start. We are blessed to have 484 employees and about 210 teachers. And when I tell you we have some of the best teachers in the state of Texas, we really do. They're absolutely great. They work hard, they give their best, and no matter what conditions we give or throw at them, they make it happen. And so that's the thing I'm excited about. I tell people, I said, I hate the summer when, summer school ends and you have that gap, because it's a busy time for us and it's productive, but nothing gives me joy more than that first day of school and
It's
getting
exciting.
the chance to go help out and go to those campuses. And, we did that a few weeks ago as a team of 8. The board and I went over to our HMD, which is our pre-K kinder campus, and just helped with early morning unloading. And I'll tell you, that's a comic relief
I was
within
about to
itself.
say,
It
you got-
is, but it helps you.
Tell me some. Y'all got videos, some of that.
Oh, we got videos, pictures, everything. We had a few. Mr. Gamez went to go get one out of the car, and she just started sliding down.
Sliding down.
And,
They're
and
not
she would
used
not
to
go.
seeing us.
She's like, who are
It's
those
funny.
guys? And I'm not going with any of you. And so that was
I
fun.
like it. She's been taught well, right?
Right.
I love it.
But,
Go ahead,
majority
sir.
of the kids were just so excited
Yes.
to get off the cars, and there's music playing, and they're walking towards the front of the school, and it's just exciting to see the kids back in school.
You're absolutely right. That is one of the best times of the year. And I always joke about car rider line, but it's a great time. You get to interact with
It
your
is.
parents, you get to interact with your kids. They're excited. And even if you're having a rough go of it, you see their excitement, and it just like juices you right up. So you had an increase in enrollment. Mr. Gamez, if I'm a family coming to the area, right, and I'm looking at Beeville, from a community member, from a board member, what are they getting when they come to Beeville?
Okay, Beeville ISD offers so many opportunities in our schools. We have, of course, your traditional schooling, but our CTE program, I have to say, is one of the best options that parents can look into. I worked out in industry out around the world. My job had me in Europe for many years, and one of the opportunities that we offer in Beeville, Texas, welding.
Yes.
And those doors where the jobs abroad were outstanding. I have to say, I share this story. We had one graduate that just graduated from Beeville ISD through the welding program. Immediately, Valero Energy out of Houston, Texas, hired him straight from the high school.
Nice.
Yes, that's outstanding. So we have a lot of opportunities for parents, children. We want to see them go to keep their education going into universities. But if they choose not to, we want to make sure that these kids have opportunities that they can succeed in life. And that's what BISD is offering. A lot of the CTE programs that they can grow in.
Now, I got to ask, did you do any welding in your career?
I did when I first started, and that is what actually got my job into Africa.
Really?
Yes,
Now-
I had that opportunity. The welding brought a big core of different skills that's required for that trade, and I have to say that was my beginning into my career.
Do you wish they paid back then what they do now for welding? Because it is off the charts.
It is off the chart. We had a group in Central Africa, just off the coast on the west side, that were doing some underwater welding, and they were probably drawing in a little over $2,000 an hour welding. So
Oh my God.
that's some serious money.
Yes.
Serious.
Yes. Yeah, man. I mean, we may need to look into our
I know.
recertify.
I may have to go back and recertify in welding or something.
That's awesome. So you're here. Obviously, you get to spend some time together. How important is it for superintendent, board to keep the relationship? And what are some of the things y'all do to make sure y'all are a strong team of 8?
Oh man, I think that relationship is essential to not only just the school district within itself, but the community as well. Because I think a lot of times people will learn how to treat each other, how they should communicate, how they should work together as a team, watching us when we interact as a team of 8. So, even when we're together and when we have differences of opinion and
Sure.
we disagree, there's still a way that we do it and we remain intact and remain professional. And so I think that's extremely important because that happens on every team and any
course.
team anywhere you exist. And so we believe that we are the role models for how everyone should act and how everyone should go about their professional lives in our school district. And so that's important. We talk about that a lot. Here's what we're going to do. We can disagree. It's okay to disagree in public, but we have to do it where we're respecting everybody. And then when everybody leaves at the end of that, everybody still feel intact and they still feel whole. And I think that's one of the best ways that we do that. I think also just getting to know my trustees. We spend a lot of time together and we meet, but I also schedule one-on-one meetings with them. And it gives us a chance. Sometimes we cut up, we talk and have conversations, but then we talk about the business and what our goals and our expectations and our hopes for our kids. And that's, I think, the amazing thing about our team of 8 is we all keep at the center students first, and our staff. And so that's extremely important. And if, as long as we understand and we know that that's what grounds us, is not personal egos and not hidden agendas and things of that nature, it really helps us to do well as a collective team of 8.
That's outstanding. Mr. Gamez, what do y'all tease him about?
Well, besides
Ask him
football,
what does he tease me about.
besides football and his barbecue, that I keep telling him, Mr. Fanning, we don't use mustard in Texas for barbecuing.
We don't in
Of
Georgia
course,
either.
Well, I
What's
don't know.
Georgia sweet sauce? Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
somewhat.
Okay. Well,
It's great working with Mr. Fanning. As he mentioned, the team of 8, we have a vision. We agree on the vision where the district needs to be. The beauty about it is that we take the time to discuss, disagree, and search for the best path forward as we can bring the district.
That there's nothing wrong. There should be disagreement if everybody's passionate about what they believe is the best path for students, right there. That's what it's all about. Is let's get in there and figure out how do we get the best outcome.
Correct.
For
And that
kids.
gives us that opportunity to ask those tough questions.
Absolutely.
And look at the big picture, not get focused in and zero in, coming into a meeting or a decision without actually fully discussing what is best for the kids, of course, the community itself, the tax dollars.
So I want to ask Mr. Fanning a question. There's a lot out there about A through F. Ratings are coming out, and I think there's misinformation out there. I had a chance to talk to Raise Your Hand Texas a little bit ago, and schools have improved. Growth is occurring, yet there may be a regression in a grade or what the state rating comes out to be. And to me, that feels like all we've been telling our kids is just make growth. Let's improve. Let's get better. And now we have to face this. And part of that is messaging to our public in our community, like, look, just because the game has changed and they changed the rules, growth is happening.
Right.
And we want to make sure. So is there anything that you're trying to message to your students and your families to, hey, let's not freak out over our ratings because the proof is in the pudding. The growth is in the classroom. It's happening, right? How do you guys address that? How do you want to address it? And you're doing great things. Your community should know that y'all are doing great things,
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, for me, first and foremost, I think it's extremely important is I think accountability is extremely important.
Sure.
I don't shy away from it. We talk about that all the time as a team.
No, don't.
We want to be held accountable. We have the expectation of educating the next generation of whatever they decide to do. And so we should be held accountable for making sure that we're making those successful gains and we're doing the things to change the trajectory of the lives of students.
Yes.
However, I do believe that it needs to be fair and consistent. I think it needs to be a system that is not so convoluted that the public really doesn't know what's going on, but they don't understand it. And so all they look at is an A through an F, and they don't know what's behind the scenes and what's behind the curtains. And just as you alluded to just a moment ago, with the new accountability system, for example, us in CCMR, we went up 2 points for this school year. However, if the scaling stays the same as what it is, we drop a letter grade from it, even though we showed significant increase. And although that data that they're using is lag data from 2 years ago.
Yes.
And so, for us, I think it's extremely important and it's essential is to tell me what we're going to be held accountable for, what you're expecting us to do, and giving us all the rules to the game before we start playing the game. I don't mind the accountability system, but it should make sense and it should be in a way that truly reflects what is happening, because it stands the chance this year of showing communities and schools where we're saying, yes, we're growing, but what they're seeing is the letter grade drop because the system changed a little bit.
And it's a moment in time of a kid's life, and for whatever reason, if that kid has a bad day, anything could happen. Anything could occur. And then it's an autopsy report of way too late. You have no ability to adjust to it. You don't know the rules of the game. I just don't understand why we would do that. We were asking districts to make growth, which everybody is doing.
And it's only measuring one way. And Mr. Gamez and I talk about this a lot in our one-on-one. The fact that they only looking at the kid testing on this particular test and a few classes and a few other things. They've added some things in there, but they don't look at the holistic view of that child.
Yes.
Are they engaged in athletics or fine arts? Are they in CTE programs, and what CTE programs they're in, and what are they learning? Is the test going to be hands-on based for a portion of it, and then the practical hands-on type test? And so we talk about a lot of that over and over again. I'll let him allude to some of that because he has a strong opinion about accountability. And all those things also.
Accountability, yes, sir. Accountability is utmost. We don't shy back.
No.
I want to be told where we're falling short so we can put a plan together to move this forward. But let me give you a numbers here. I think it was last year we had a little graduation of 220. 185 of our students had a CTE certification in a trade that they can use as they move forward. So
They're immediately employable.
They're employable if they choose to go through. So the school that we're doing and what we offer at the ISD includes a lot more than just a grade for that one particular day. But don't get me wrong. I am all for accountability and holding us responsible but give us what we're expected to know.
I kind of liken it to Alabama football. Like they just keep changing the quarterbacks. Like, and you just every Saturday you just don't know what's going to happen. You're just reacting to it. So I mean, I don't know. Does that strike you as a good characterization of changing the rules?
Hey, when you change the rules and you have the success that Alabama has, why not? That's all I say.
I was wondering how you're going to weave that back in.
After last week, the Cowboys really should be changing some things in what they did. I'm just saying. But I tell you what, that's the group that I'm familiar with seeing on the field from the Dallas Cowboys. So
that's the norm.
That looked like the norm.
Oh man, we're in Dallas, by the way, everyone. So
right.
He needs
I had
bodyguard.
I had to look over my shoulder.
Rick, he's hurting. He knows where the Cowboys are at now. He knows.
So last question I want to throw. Let's look down the road a little bit for Beeville ISD. What's on the horizon? What are you looking to do, and what do you want to see by the end of the year?
By the end of the year,
or tell you what, 3 years, 5 years.
I have an end of the year, 3-year, 5-year plan.
Give them to me.
I'll tell you. Our biggest thing is we want to continue to grow in enrollment. That's our goal, and we want to get more kids to see the value of what's happening in public education and public schools. Because I think oftentimes it gets a bad rap and a bad story, and people really truly don't know the amazing things that have happened there. And so that's what we've done a good job of, I think, in the last 3 or 4 years, is number one, telling our story.
Right.
Because if we don't tell our story, somebody else will, and it doesn't always come with facts. Yeah. And so that's what we've been really intentional about. But our number one thing is to continue to grow our students, continue to grow our programs. We're in the second year of our early college high school. And so I'll tell you, down the road, I'm looking forward to 2 years from now when we graduate that first class, that first cohort. We're hoping that one day, sometime soon, either by a donor or by a bond, that we can get a brand new facility and a brand new school for our students that looks and is built to take on the different task and the new mode of teaching and learning in our schools. And so we're hoping for that as well. And just looking for any opportunities that come our way to continue to engage our community, but also to keep our students competitive. We want our students to not only compete just in Beeville or even in South Texas or the state of Texas. We want to compete in the entire United States and in the world. We want to create global leaders. And so we're really looking at some things that are a little bit out of the box and transcending that we want to do to ensure that our students are competitive, but not only competitive, that they're excelling and they're leading the way.
What's crazy is if you walk around all of the booths, all of the tech, it just shows you how learning and think jobs are evolving so fast. So it is critical that facilities and classrooms and technology evolve with it, because they're going to be asked to do totally different things than we were ever asked to do.
We have to keep up with the times, because those are the challenges. Coming from an industry of oil and gas, those are changing every day, those challenges. And our students, we want to prepare them for those challenges that are.
So what are you looking for, Mr. Gamez? You've been on the board, you're a pillar of the community. What do you want to see?
Yes, we want to see, like Mr. Fanning alluded to, the growth. I want to see kids succeed in any path that they choose, whether it's military or they want to go straight to the work or they want to continue their education to our higher education. We want to see that the students succeed. I want to be there as a trustee to provide those opportunities, that we make sure we give those opportunities. By doing that, I want to bring the community together, the parents, because through their help and in their involvement, we can set our goals high to make sure that BISD will be successful in what we do.
So Be the Kick, first state of the district.
Yes,
Yes.
this is our first
Yes.
state of district.
Where you having it?
We're having it in our lecture hall, actually.
Yes.
We're starting out small, doing there. We hoping that it grows so much that next time we have to do it at a restaurant or at like the country club or something like that. But we wanted to host it the first time.
Sure.
Our students are going to cook for us. They are amazing, man. They do some top shelf type of stuff.
Really?
They do an amazing
Yes.
job. And so we're really looking forward to that. They love to showcase their talent. And then just really, we have a lot of legislators that are coming too.
Nice.
We just really want to share with them the good things that's happening in public schools and share with them where we are and where we're hoping to go.
Awesome.
One thing to add, I wanted to just put a shout out to our choir group. Last year, they went to the Texas Music Education Association. They performed. This year, going to the Nationals to perform. So we're excited come February.
There's
next
great things
year,
happening
so.
in Beeville. There's
Excellent.
no doubt about it. So come check them out. Be a part of the state of the district. Come support. Love it.
We love it. Anytime people want to come visit, we love that.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here and sharing a little bit about Beeville.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Thank
You
you.
know I won't miss an opportunity to tease you while we're in Dallas, by the way. And so
Absolutely.
if anybody has free Cowboys tickets right here, send them to
He'd
Beeville
lo-
ISD.
Oh, I'll
He'd love
go.
to go.
Oh,
yeah.
let me tell you, I'll go to the game. Don't get it wrong now. I'll go to the game. I will not root for them, but I will go to the game.
Well, he'll wear a shirt. I'm sure he
Of
told me
course.
he had one. So.
Yeah, I will even wear a Patriot shirt this week.
The word on the street is Cowboys jerseys are built into your valuation at Beeville ISD.
Sounds familiar, right?
I just
Really?
heard that.
That's new to me. That was nowhere in my contract that I saw.
That's that
man.
fine print that they
That's the fine-
yeah.
I had to put a light over
Very
it or
bottom,
something.
at the very bottom.
Other duties as a sign.
That's where it included.
Well, gentlemen, thank you for being here and enjoy the conference, and we'll be talking soon.
Absolutely.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for having us again.
All right.
Produced by Podcast Architects.